Okay. So the first thing first, immediately when you start like to read your like each and every single transaction, you have to figure out who is wrong. Are we going to fix the creditors ledger side, or are we going to fix the what? The statement side. So let us go to number one. It says this discount reflected on the 7th of September in the creditors ledger is incorrect. Guys, by reading that, you know for sure that the creditors ledger is incorrect. So we are definitely fixing on this side and not this side, because they are saying what? The creditors ledger is incorrect. So we have to, now that we know where set we're going to fix, we have to figure out that the problem is they're saying on the 7th of September in the creditors ledger is incorrect discount. If the creditors ledger this is incorrect, it means that this is definitely correct. So let us go to the 7th. That is the discount that is there. And first of all, it's on the right side. Creditors ledger increase on which side? The credit side. And a discount signifies what? A decrease in the debt or the amount payable. So it's definitely on the what? Supposed to be on the debit side, because debit is negative for creditors ledger. So it's definitely on the correct side. We check there, it's 60. So that is not the problem. Now we check another problem. We check and it says it's 650. Then we compare it to the one that is on the what? The statement. The statement says what? 900. Meaning that they what? What did they do on the creditors ledger? They understated. They were supposed to deduct or give themselves a discount of total of 900, but when they only gave themselves a discount of what? 650. They minus less than what they were supposed to minus. They were supposed to minus 900, but they minus 650. So you need to get the difference and minus the one that is missing. You minus more, they will minus less. They minus less. I hope you guys can understand. They were supposed to minus 900, but Bona they only did what? 650. So you have to do what's on the creditors ledger. Minus again. How much is it? The 250. And guys, read the instructions. It is very important to read the instruction. It says there, show all changes with a plus or a minus. Sometimes we use brackets to signify a minus. And if there's no bracket, it means it's a positive. But on here, they're saying signify the changes by plus or minus sign. Okay, then we move on to the next one. A trade discount of 5% was detected on invoice 567. Chonko suppliers did not take this discount into account when recording the amount on the statement. By reading that, guys, the first thing that you have to do is identify who did something wrong. They are saying that Chonko suppliers, who are the creditors, who are also the people that create the statement, they did not take this discount, the 5% into account, meaning that we're gonna fix where on this side, on the statement side, because they did not take what into account, the what is it called, the discount. So we go way, and remember, if the statement is incorrect, it definitely means that what this is correct, because they're saying what Chonko supplies is incorrect. So we go to invoice 5671. First of all, it's definitely on the right side because this is a statement and an increase on the debit side. It is 6,900. Remember, they did not take what into account? The discount, meaning that they did not minus the discount. But when you go to that same invoice on the creditors ledger, it is what 6555. It is less than this one, meaning that creditors ledger, they definitely did take into account the discount. So we know that they're telling us, okay, the discount is what 5%. We don't necessarily have to calculate the 5% because if here is 600 and 900 and they're telling us that they did not take that discount into account, we can go back here to the people that actually took the discount to account and find the difference between the 6,900 and the 6,555, and that will give you the 5%. And that gives you 345. So basically, the 45 is the what? It is the 5%. And they're telling us what? Chonko suppliers did not minus it, they did not take into account. And Chonko suppliers are who? The creditors that create the what? The statement. So we know for sure that they did not what? Minus that what? That 345. So we're gonna minus it on their side. This is the second one. I hope you guys understand. Then we go to the third one. It says, after an investigation, it was established that 5780 on the 20th of September, the statement was in respect of a purchase made by another business. Chonko Suppliers will correct this error. By reading that, they are definitely telling us that Chonko Suppliers, the people that write the statement, they did something wrong. Now you know that you're gonna fix on which side. The statement, not the creditors. They're saying that invoice 5780, it's right here, and when you go here, it's not here, meaning that they definitely did the mistake. The statement, this invoice, it was in regard to another company. So basically, this statement, guys, was written by who? Chonko Suppliers, but it was sent to who? Do you guys see that? It is in account of Magwaza Traders. This statement is going to Magwaza Traders, basically about the amount that is basically owed to who? To Chonko Suppliers. But the person that writes the book for Chonko Suppliers, he or she accidentally put an invoice that belongs to another company. Remember, Chonko Suppliers and Gera, basically it's in their name, suppliers, meaning that they're basically like the supplier goes to other companies, and Magwaza just happens to be one of them. So when they were doing this, they put, maybe for another company, we don't know which name is it, they accidentally put the transaction based off another company in the statement that was going to be sent to Magwaza Traders. So which is this one, the 4,320. And an invoice signifies what, guys? It signifies it's a plus basically in debt. It signifies that more goods were taken what? On credit. So it basically a plus. So what did Chonko Suppliers do? They put it what? On the debit side, meaning that they added the debt that is what owed to them by who? By Magwaza Traders. So they need to fix that by doing what? By minusing it, because this transaction of 5780 does not belong to Magwaza Traders. So they need to remove it. I hope you guys understand. They need to basically cancel it. And when you cancel something, you do the opposite. Originally, what did they do? They blast that amount of 43220. So whenever you do the opposite by doing what? If this is a plus, this is going to be a minus. You do the opposite. And this is eventually going to be what? 0. So on the what? The statement, since they were the ones that did the mistake, you're gonna do what? You're gonna minus that what? 4320 that they added. I hope you guys understand. Then we go to IV. IV says, David note 121 has been incorrectly recorded in the creditors ledger. By reading that, you know for sure that creditors ledger did something wrong. So we fix on which side? This side and not this side. Then we go to see that mistake. We go to debit note what? 121. Remember, a debit note signifies a what? A return. And on the creditor's ledger, they record it as a debit note, but on the statement, they record it as a what? As a credit note. So we come here and it's 850 on the creditor's ledger, and on the what? The statement is also 850. So definitely the amount is definitely correct. But when you check here, the creditor's ledger increases on which side? The credit side, but decreases on which side? The debit side. So now they put it on which side? The credit side, meaning that they added that returning mistake. It was supposed to be a minus. It was supposed to be on the debit side. So we're supposed to fix this mistake. And how do we fix it? We need to ensure that that negative 850 was supposed to be on the debit side, and the debit side is negative. So we need to signify or basically show that negative 850. So the first thing that we do is we write it the way it is. It is positive 850 and get it the way it is, because that is how they put it. They put it on the credit side. So we basically look like this. Remember, the goal is to ensure that we signify it as a return, which is what's supposed to be what? Negative 850. So it is positive 850. So in the means of showing or signifying the return, we minus that 850. But if we minus, it's gonna give us what? 0. So it's not gonna, like, if we minus once, we're not gonna, it's basically gonna cancel the whole entire transaction, which is wrong. The transaction is not supposed to be cancelled because definitely goods were being returned. Goods were definitely being returned. Remember, this one was a transaction based on another company, so we had to canceling it by doing the opposite. This one, this transaction definitely belongs to Makosa traders because they definitely did what? They definitely did return. So Warner in their books, they added their what? Their debt, which they were supposed to do this. So we're supposed to fix it this thing. We're supposed to fix this thing. So we realized that when we minus 1,850, it basically cancels the whole transaction and making it 0. So we need to ensure that this negative 850 reflects. So how do? We minus it again. And if we minus this, it's definitely gonna give us what? Negative 850. So instead of just saying minus 850 minus 850, we just definitely say 850 plus 850. It gives us what? This gives us 1,700. So we minus 700. We minus 700 from this 850, which is positive, in order to what? To get the negative 850 to signify the return of goods. To make sure that it reflects on the debit side. It is very confusing, but I hope you guys can get it. Whenever we do such doubling effects thing, is mostly when an invoice, or not just an invoice, or a transaction was put on the not on its side. This is a debit note, is a return. It was supposed to be on this side, but they put it on this side. So if we try to fix it, it's gonna give us 0. So that's hence why we double again. So remember, we have to fix on the creditors side, and it's going to be what? Negative 700. I hope you 1.7, sorry. And then we have V. V says invoice 5801 reflected on the 28th of September on the statement of account is incorrect. The amount in the creditors ledger is correct. By reading that, we know for sure that the statement is what? Incorrect. So we fix on which side? The statement side. And the creditors ledger is what? Correct. So we go to look for what is actually wrong. Now that we know on which side we have to fix, it is 5801. We go here. This one, I guess it's incorrect. That's what they said. It is what? 8,000 and something. But when we come here to the creditors ledger, is what? 9,800 and whatnot. So we know for sure, would see, okay, this one on the creditors ledger is correct. It's 9,000 and something. But this one is what? 8,000 and something, meaning that they what? And first of all, ensuring goods is on the right side. This one is definitely on the debit, and this one is what? On the credit, because it's an invoice, signifying what? An increase in the amount payable. So the sides are definitely correct. So the amounts are not correct. So what did the statement do? They understated. They were supposed to add what? The amount they were supposed to add was 9,000 and something, but when they added what? 8,000 and something. So when we understate, guys, we plus that difference. We're gonna minus this amount of 9,000 from this one to get the difference, and that difference we add it. Okay, guys, I hope you guys understand. So that amount we edited because they understated. They were supposed to do what? Have it as 9,000, but when they had it as what? 8,000. The last one says there's an entry in the creditors ledger which does not appear on the what? The monthly statement, as these transactions took place after the statement was printed out. So they're basically saying with the creditors ledger, there's an entry here on the creditors ledger that does not appear here. From that statement, we definitely know that we're gonna fix where on the statement, because there's an entry that is on the creditors ledger that does not appear here. So we're definitely fixing on which side? On this side. So when we get there, how much is that? We look for it. And here they're saying, well, there's a payment of 10,500. But here there's no payment. So that is definitely the invoice, or I mean not the invoice. The entry that is definitely missing. So it is a payment, hence is on the debit side on the creditors ledger, signifying what? A decrease in the debt amount payable. So if here it's a decrease, it also has to be what? Decrease over here. So we know that it's not there. So we're going to fix it way on here and do what? In minus. Okay, that is VI. It is VI. VI. So we're going to what? We're going to minus that amount of what? 10,500 on the statement side because they did not reflect it. And now that